Hello friends, welcome to my next research video. You are with me, Professor Rajashekharan. If you are a first timer to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe my channel as well as click the bell icon so that when I post my next video, you will get immediate notification. How to attend PhD interviews? What are the tips to become successful in PhD interview? Let's see today. First of all, once you get interview call letter from any university or institution, first thing you need to clearly prepare certain things to get ready for the interview, number one. So first thing we'll see the preparatory stage, then during the interview process and post interview process. We'll see three things quickly. First one, preparatory stage. Please be very clear about what you have mentioned in your PhD applications, because generally when you apply to a university, you could have applied what you call mentioned your research proposal. In the research proposal, you could have given the tentative title of the research. So be very clear on the objectives first. What type of methodology you're going to employ, and are you clear about have you read any papers on those areas? These are the three components. First thing, you should have read sufficient papers before you attend the interview. Assume that you work in psychology or sociology or literature. In that particular field, in that there will be a subfield. In that subfield, you need to know, for example, you study on motivation psychology. So have you read latest papers on motivation psychology? What is your tentative title in that motivation psychology? And how are you going to do even in that particular thing? You have to clear idea. For that, you should have read minimum 25 papers on the specific research area in your field. That paper should be latest, number one. Number two, do you know the experts in your field? There may be definitely, if you take any field, there will be top 10 experts in the world, top 10 experts in your country. If it is not top 10, at least you know the top 5 in the world and top 5 in your country. That's very important. The moment they say his name, you must know. You should not say that I don't know, I have not heard about that. It means that you don't know anything. And read those people's at least one or two papers, their major idea or books, just to have some idea about international experts as well as national experts. This is point number two. Point number three, methodology. What type of methodology you are going to adapt, because you need to have a certain clarity. In case you are not clear about, just you can mention it as a tentative type, you are going to do that. For that, when you read those papers, already I've told you that when you conduct literature review, and it will give some idea from that paper, you can take certain methodology. This is what you are going to follow in your research, because it's only tentative. Only after you join, in case you got selected, then only you will be registering, then you can change the methodology. So nothing wrong, you can give something. If it is wrong, you can change it in the future, but you need to have a certain clarity. This is three. And this is before the interview process, you know about all these things. During interview process, what are the questions they'll ask you? First thing, definitely they'll ask you to introduce yourself. So introduce yourself means you need to have a brief answer, not more than 2 minutes. We have a clear idea. Don't tell some unnecessary information. It's academic interview, so only related to academics only give importance. Don't give more importance to hobby and other things and all in a PhD interview. That's not very much essential. So be very focused to your academic credential. You can talk about your projects in case you did something in your PG. If you have published some papers already, you can talk about that. You have done some project, you can say about those things, and be clear about all those things, and definitely try to combine all these things, try to give it within 2 minutes. That's point number one. During review, this is point number one. Point number two, definitely you expect questions based on the international experts' work and national experts' work. They may simply ask you, do you know this particular personality, and are you aware about all those things? Also be very clear about it. And the last one will be, just a minute. Next, they may ask you questions regarding how many papers you have read in your field, and you will be able to inform them number of papers you have read. You can't say that I have read just 1, 2, that and all. Absolutely no, it is unaccepted. You need to say minimum 25. And what are the latest development, latest trends in your respective field also you need to tell them. And have you come across some other research thesis and other things also you need to know. You should have referred 1 or 2, then you should inform those things also. And apart from that, they may check your attitude. See, the interview, they may check two things. One is your potential, subject potential, and are you a right candidate? Will you be able to do the research? They'll check it up. Second thing, they may verify your attitude, because a student, a candidate with a very good knowledge but a bad attitude, he will not fit into the PhD program. So they'll verify, especially they'll check your stress handling ability. They'll check you, will you be able to publish within 3 years? You have to publish 2 papers, 3 papers, then you have to complete, and you have to be novel, and all these things. They'll ask you, what is your plan? What is your tentative plan? How will you do these things in the challenging time? Then you need to tell them clearly that I work very hard, and I know that I learn from the particular department of the institutions and your peers, and you will learn it, and especially you get a proper guidance from your guide. Then with that thing, with your hard work, you will be able to achieve that, whatever the given target you will be able to achieve. In that way, you need to answer them. And attitude, don't show a kind of a very lethargic attitude or very feeble attitude. Lethargic means, yes, I can of course handle anything. This is, it's not a very big problem. Don't talk in this type of tone. It means that you are an overconfident person. Always you be very assertive. Don't be aggressive in the interview. Because when you are aggressive, even you are very good at your subject, because of your attitude, they may not select you. Because the attitude matters much. If you are with a bad attitude, you will never complete PhD, absolutely, because it will never work. So attitude is important. That's why they'll check the attitude. Third thing, definitely they may ask you certain question. Why do you want to do in that particular institution? Don't say that everybody applied, so I have also applied. No, be very careful. You know about certain things about the institution. If you know 1 or 2 people who are experts in your field, applying field, and if you know them, you tell them that, I have come across the profile of this particular professor, so I am interested to work under him. Or otherwise, sometimes you can say that I may work anybody who is working in this particular field, you can tell that. And the last one, what they'll ask you, they'll not ask, but they'll verify what's your language potential. Are you able to exercise your ideas clearly in the orally? Are you able to speak well? And they'll verify your research proposal, how you have written, whether your written thing is good, and your oral skill also good. They'll verify all these things. See, the reason is, when you are going to get admitted for the PhD program, so for that you don't know how to speak in English, you don't know how to write in English, and obviously you can't do anything. See, they'll train you, but they cannot train right from the scratch. You need to have at least a moderate level of accuracy and fluency in both writing and speaking. But if you are very poor, means they may rethink whether to select you or not. So better you prepare well, and in case you are very, you feel that you are not really confident, then use simple sentences. Be very plain and clear. Don't try to give more complicated stuff. Don't try to boost and boast that you are a better person. No, be natural, and only thing you signal them that you will learn. You have a great learning attitude. Then if you have that type of options, definitely they'll select you. There is a possibility is high. And another thing, there may be definitely in any interview, there will be 2 to 3 persons, 3 interview panel members will be there. Each of them will ask different questions. So make sure that when you answer them, you need to look at them. You have to make an eye contact with them, and you need to talk to them. And always don't be nervous. Don't show you are nervous. And even if you have a kind of nervousness, just you hide it and be cool as a cucumber. That's very important. And be natural. One thing, even if you do not know any question what to do, don't try to manage. Simply say that you are not aware of it. You will learn it. Just be plainly, you can say that you don't know, but don't try to give the wrong answer. That's very important. Okay, so follow all these tips, and definitely will become successful, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, bye from Professor Rajshekar.